Today in this video we are going to talk about political science, in which we are going to see about the federalism or the federal government. தமிழிலே அரசர் அறிவியல், அரசரை எப்படி கண்டுகொள்வது, அவருடைய குணாதிசயங்கள் என்ன, அரசாட்சி முறைகள் என்ன என்பதை பற்றிய அறிவியல் அரசர் அறிவியல் என்று பெயர். அதனுள் நாம் பார்க்க இருக்கின்ற தலைப்பு கூட்டாட்சி தத்துவம், ஃபெடரல் கவர்மெண்ட் அல்லது கூட்டாட்சி அரசு என்பதை பற்றி பார்க்க இருக்கின்றோம். இந்த கூட்டாட்சி அரசு என்பது மையத்திலே த யூனியன் ஆஃப் ஸ்டேட்ஸ், சென்ட்ரல் கவர்மெண்ட் என்று ஒரு நாட்டிலே இருக்கும். அந்த நாட்டின் பல பகுதியான ரீஜனல் கவர்மெண்ட் ஆர் ப்ராவின்ஷியல் கவர்மெண்ட் என்ற ஒரு மாநில அரசு இருக்கும். இந்த மாநில அரசும் மைய அரசும் கைகோர்த்து கொண்டு அந்த நாட்டை வழிநடத்தி செல்வதற்கு ஃபெடரல் கவர்மெண்ட் என்று பெயர். அதை பற்றி பார்க்க இருக்கின்றோம். ஸோ த ஃபெடரல் கவர்மெண்ட் is a type of government or a type of political system in which the power of administration are distributed between the government, one at the state central, that is union government, and the one at regional level, that is regional government or state government. This type of system, the one at union, one at the central, that is for the whole country, and the another government for the particular region or particular state, is known as federal government. And then the regional and the regional government exercises authority over the region, and the central government exercises authority over the whole nation. And then we are going to see about, there are two types of government which is in work, that is the federal government and unitary government. The unitary government is the one where there is no central government and state government arrangement, only the one government is there, that is called unitary government. And then the local government, separate local government will be there, but in the federal government one is at the center for the whole country, and the another is at the state or regional level, that is called state government. Then some of the characters which meaning we will see, meaning, concept, other things we will see about the federal government. The federal government is that is legally independent of each other, that is the state government and central government is legally independent of each other. Then neither one is subordinate to another, though the central government reigns supreme and it is considered as the supreme, but the state is not subordinate to central government. And then they both are they coordinate between them, that is the central government and state government. There is a coordination exists between these two. And then the continuance of the ruling happens. Then the central government is stronger than regional government. So any law or statute made by the center is subordinate to the regional government, which enacts on the same subjects. So naturally the central government reigns supreme and they have more power, and then it is stronger than regional government. The example is USA, India, and then South Africa, Canada, Australia. These countries adopt the federal system, and then it is a pluralistic government, and then they unite political force with unpolitical force. Unity, that is the unity can be found in federal system, that is the political force with unpolitical force, that is ideological, sociological, psychological, etc. So political force with unpolitical force is the motive of the federal government. Then it is the united and it is flexible. So the federal system is flexible and united. And interaction between state and central government can be seen. That is coordination. Then we will see the united government is the only one government which arranges the entire country. Say for example in England there is no regional government, only the government controls the entire country, that is called unitary government. And then the example is Britain, France, Sri Lanka and China. Now we will see the essential condition of the successful that is organs of government, or the successful features of the federal system. We will see one by one. That is, one is geographical contiguity. That is, geographical means the land arrangement is called geography. Contiguity means one is attached to another. That is, the nearness of one state with another is called contiguity. One state should not be far away from another state. Say for Indonesia, there are the land arrangement is somewhat not in cohesion. So many that is islands are there. That is called archipelago. So such type of arrangements in Indonesia is there, where the federal government system is not impossible, because there will not be any cohesion. That is called the geographical contiguity. Like that, if any suppose if the land will be there, and then in between the land there will be any deviations in there, and it is not contiguous, then the system of the federal system will not work out. That is called geographical contiguity. Then community of interest, that is, though the people are divided culturally and then behaviorally, and though people are different in their cultural activities, despite all that, they are having the mind of unitedness, that is unity in diversity. That is, India is having so many religion, so many linguistics, so many cultural habits, but the thing is, totally as a country we are Indian, and that oneness among so many differences, that is called unity among diversity. So that is the nature of the federalistic country, that is community of interest, and similarity of social and political institutions. The third thing is the social behavior and the political institutions, one at the center and at the state should be have the same ideology and other thing. So that is called the similarity of social and political institutions. So in state government and central government, the political institution should behave in a similar manner. That is called the similarity of social and political institutions. And then the fourth one is absence of marked inequality. Suppose the inequality is there in the states, from one state to another state, then the federalism will be at weak. Suppose if one state is economically at a higher state and another is economically not viable, then there is a lot of disparity will be there between one state to another state, and such of those inequality should not be there. If at all that inequality is there, then the land arrangements should be, or the land should be divided according to the in a particular region. Say for example in Andhra or Tamil Nadu, in particular region, one side the economic activity will be booming, and another side there will not be any economic activity, or employment opportunity will be more in one particular district, and another district there may not be that type of. Then if that is the case, the state should see that all districts have the equal opportunity. That is the absence of marked inequality. That is, the inequality is absent in between the regions, and in between the states also. There should not be much difference in economic equality. And then the social economic development. Similarly, the social condition and economic development between one state to another state should not be overriding the other. So if that is the case, suppose if the social and economic development, if one is having more economic force, then the other is not having that much of economic force, there may not be any cohesion between one state to another state, and the federal condition will not work out. Then political ability. The political ability also have the control to the federal system should work properly, for which the political ability should be there. So the political ability is the one at central will always have superpower, and the one at region will be lesser in power. And this political ability should be there at the people who know the overall the economic conditions and the overall geographic condition of the people. They can reign the people properly, and such of the people are to be elected. That is the meaning of political ability. Then political and national integration. There should be the political and national integration should be there, the oneness, and though the people are so much divided, the integration should be there in between the political and national integration should be there. The oneness of the country should be maintained. That is political and national integration. And center and state coordination. So naturally, when there should not be any vociferous activity, there should not be any parochialism, there should not be any division between this and that, and there should not be any party politics, and the only main thing available should be the center state coordination and relations. So there should not be any vociferous activity. The state should have they have their own subject, and center have their own subject. There should not be any wrangling between the powers, and there should not be any disharmony should not be there. Such should be the condition for the federal government. That is center state coordination or relationship. Then a reasonable trend towards centralization. That is, the central is always more powerful, or the unitary government is always more powerful. So the reasonable trend will always be there towards centralization. So the central government will always be more powerful, and they will be making the law which is binding for all states. And if at all any subject which cover the state, the state should also binding on the central that is statute or the act. And if at all the state act also is on the same subject, then the union law is supreme. So such should be the trend towards centralization. So the central should be stronger than the regional, and they should see that the states' interests are protected, and there is no deviation shown from one state to another state. Suppose if the center has one party and state has one party, there should not be any party politics. the allotment and the fund allotment should be equal between all states basing on the income derived from that state. So this is called a reasonable trend towards centralization, and that reasonable trend towards centralization should be very limited, and the state should have its own power, and it should have their own fund allotment for proper functioning of the center-state relationship and the federal government. Then only the federal government can work properly. So these are all the conditions for the federal government. So and moreover, the when the state is in law and order is not in order, then the state, the central will take over the, that is the presidential rule is enacted, and Article 352, then the unitary, it will act as unitary government. So wherever the law and order, Article 356 will go, and in Article 352, that is wherever the war or aggression, and that is 356 for a state, particular state, the law and order is not there, then the government will be dissolved, and the state, the central government will take over the control of that state. But when the whole country is at during the war time and during some emergency time, then Article 352 will be implemented, and the whole country will be acting as a unitary government. So this is with regard to the federalism. So with this we conclude this video, federalism.